Today we're up on the North Downs. We're looking for safe wild camping spots and we come across this little one. Yeah, it's been used by people before quite regularly by the looks of it. There's definitely some telltale signs. Right there behind me is one of them. But yeah, we're going to look just around the camp and see how safe it is and if it's actually a desirable place to camp for the week. First thing you notice when you walk into this area, there's a slight path. It's not picking it up very well on the camera, but I can see it quite easily. And then over here, there's some markings. These holly bushes, holly trees are going to be felled at some point. Probably so they don't interfere with the yew trees. These yew trees are pretty ancient, but as you can see, this is like the third sign. You don't want to be camping here. Somebody's made a camp and had a fire, and really you don't want to be burning yew trees. They give off a toxic smoke. Like literally every single part of the yew tree is toxic except for the flesh of the berries. So just the flesh of the berries. The seeds, if you eat the seeds, you'll be dead within a couple of hours. Yeah, don't eat any part of this tree apart from the flesh of the berries. And even then, just, yeah, probably stay away from it. They are actually really delicious. Really, really nice. But probably best not to, just to be safe. So yeah, someone's made quite a good camp here actually. Under this yew tree. So these yew trees, this one, I don't know how old it is, but it could be 1,000 years old. It is one of the smaller ones. They do kind of hollow out in the middle and they sort of rot from the inside out, and they tend to, these big limbs break off, and I don't know how much that would weigh, but it'd probably kill you if it landed on you. But this one does actually look all right. I'd be quite happy under there for a night or two. So let's continue around this area. I've set up my tarp over there. Can't really see it. I'll show you around that in a bit. Let's have another wander around. But yeah, they've burnt this massive log. Let's have a look. I think this is yew. Yeah, it looks like a yew log rather than an oak. So we do have a large oak tree over here. Let's see if there's any widow makers. If I can have a look. I wouldn't really call any of them widow makers, but yeah, I wouldn't camp under it in high winds just to be safe. The tree looks quite healthy. There's no fungi growing on it. Just have a look to see if there's any bracket fungi growing on it. Go around. If there's any brackets on it, then it's a good sign that it's starting to die. But this one looks quite healthy, although the roots aren't that deep. But yeah, it's not too bad, that one. I've got this other yew tree. I tend to lean over like this. I don't think, actually I can only think of one yew tree that I've seen with its roots out of the ground where it's been blown over or fallen over. They tend to kind of grow up and then down into the ground and then root to support themselves and branch off into new trees. The yew tree never really dies, it just sort of continues elsewhere. Over here someone's stashed a bit of old plastic used for shelter, by the looks of it. Yeah, take it home, don't leave it up here. Let's have a look, see what else we can find. There's another holly tree. Has it been marked? Yep, this one's going to be felled. So I think all of them actually are going to be felled, all the holly trees. Not that they're diseased, but I think it's just to open the space up. Let's holly leaves everywhere. Another yew tree. It's quite a young one, but a long time ago. It looks like it's been chopped, so relatively young compared to a lot of the yew trees up here. Some of them are probably over 1,000 years old. Another oak, I'm just looking up, and that hasn't got any widow makers, but this one next to it certainly has an overhanging branch. It looks a bit suspect. Let's have a look. Not that one in the frame, but that one there in the middle. That looks to be dead. It's not quite above my tarp. I certainly wouldn't camp under this. Yeah, it's not too bad, but in high winds, just don't risk it. Let's see if we can find anything else actually. So here on the ground, don't know if you can make it out, but there's like a divot where at some point a deer has slept. So if it was fresher, I'm just going to show you what it looked like. Let's clear some. If a deer had recently slept there, it looked something like that, but more circular. And you don't want to camp anywhere near them really, simply because of ticks. That's why it's not ideal to camp near a deer trail or where they've been sleeping, because there will be ticks in amongst all the detritus, all the old leaves and that. Oh, again, this holly has been marked. The oak trees haven't been marked, it's just the holly, which is fair enough. Let's have a look at this oak tree. And there's one dead branch just there. You won't want to camp under that, but it doesn't look too bad. It's where it joins, looks okay, but still, just to be safe, high winds, don't camp near it or under it. So yeah, they're really the dangers and the signs of why you wouldn't want to camp here. But just for fun, I've set up what I call a floating plow point. The idea of this is it keeps you away from any trees or being up against the trees, so you can have a fire there, preferably in some sort of firebox, so you don't burn the ground, don't scar the ground. And there's Autumn. You're relaxing, you're chilling, aren't you? Instead of a tree to attach to, I've used a jungle knot ridgeline. So the way that works is it's 550 paracord doubled over, and then a knot, just an overhand knot every, I don't know, width of a fist, all the way along. And then to secure it, you literally just wrap around the tree, pass a knot through one of the loops, tension it, and then do the same this end. So there's no knots involved, it's literally just passing a knot through a loop, a pre-knotted bit. So basically you make the jungle ridgeline before you come out. So it's pre-made, don't do it out here. I've got my fleece there hanging up on a toggle, and then to attach excuse me, to attach the tarp, you just pass one of the loops through one of the loops and then stick a wooden toggle through it, and that's safely held there. I ain't going anywhere. And then you just peg out these three corners, 1, 2, and this one over here 3. And then one of the other benefits about this system, or this configuration, is if the wind changes, you just unpeg the 3 bottom pegs and swivel it around. And again, you haven't got the fire next to a tree. You're not burning the tree or the roots. You're nicely away from it. And it literally sets up in, I don't know, 3 minutes. The hardest part is figuring out which corner to attach the top bit to. Once you figure that bit out, which again don't take that long really, you're good to go. So I think that is it for this camp really. We've gone through all the dangers. Yeah, the best bit is it's nice and open. It's quite airy. Under yew trees, the soil does drain well. It's quite soft, but because of all the holly in here, it is a bit prickly. So you're going to want to clear the holly away. Oh, and also, yeah, so other safety things: don't burn the wood. I've mentioned that already. Don't eat the berries, or if you do, just eat the flesh. Don't swallow the pips or the seeds. They'll kill you within 2 hours. When you're walking around, mind your eyes, because the branches of the yew tree are deadly. I'll just try and find you a deadly yew tree branch. They used to make spear tips out of them, I believe. So yeah, very spiky. So here you go. You got to be really careful. They're deadly. It's not going to focus, is it? But I do love camping near yew trees. Just be careful that you're not camping in under any of the massive heavy branches, and especially if the centre of the yew tree is rotted. So I'm going to walk around some more yew trees in a minute, just to give you a bit of a tour, show you some different shapes, because some of them are pretty mental. Absolutely mental, some of these yew trees. That's not a bad camp. Someone's put a bit of effort into that. Not bad at all. Right, I'll bring you back in a minute. We're just going to go on a little walking tour. That's the tarp packed away. And there's a little patch I made for Autumn to lay in, obviously. She laid right next to it. Just classic dog. You make them a nice little patch and they don't lay in it. Maybe a deer will use that. This is pretty cool. The top of a yew tree. You don't get to see this very often. Look at that. Covered in moss. And over here, have a look. Got some pretty cool yew trees. I don't know if this is 1 tree or 2 tree actually. Pretty immense. Not the largest up here, but they're still pretty cool. Just watching out for spikes. Deadly. Okay, let's move on and see what else we can find. This one's quite mental. All twisted. Its roots showing. Show you the scale of it better. Pretty massive. You can see the way it leans over and then its branches go into the ground to support itself or to carry on rooting or expanding out. I'm not exactly sure why. branches reach out some way. This is one of the more twisted, crazy, insane yew trees. You see, it's proper mental. It's a quick tour around it. I do know this tree. I've been here many times. Probably my favourite actually. It needs a name. Don't know, maybe the claw? Not sure. Look at that. So it's that tree there and also this bit here, all part of the same tree. Could actually be this tree over here as well. This could be part of it. This branch certainly goes all the way down and up. But what about this one over here? I think it's a different tree actually. Yeah, that's a different tree. Still cool. At some point actually this one has come down. Almost sunset. Not very big roots at all. Let's see why that one's come down. Thanks for watching. We'll be back in a few days probably with a new video from our new camp.